Looks like it should be good. And I have the chat feature going, so if y'all want to put something in the chat to let us know that you can hear and see everything okay, that's cool. Yeah, let's see. Cool. I have a mic over here too plugged in. But yeah, welcome to the Treehouse live stream. I'm really excited to be here tonight and celebrate this new music video that just came out last Thursday. So we're going to play some songs, and then we have Matt Hoots, who's the director of the Treehouse music video, who's kind of waiting in the wings right now, and I'll bring him on the live stream real soon so that we can have a little interview with him and talk more about the music video. So I'm looking excited for this little celebration tonight. So yeah, I guess I'll start off with a song. And again, if y'all can hear everything, feel free to jump in the chat on Facebook or YouTube. And I'll be kind of scrolling through the comments, happy to answer questions or maybe play a request if I know it. So yeah, here we go. Let's jump into Nobody's Road. This was the first single that came out that kind of started this whole EP project celebration that came out in June, which feels like a long time ago, but I really appreciate you guys supporting this music this summer, because I know there's a lot going on in the world, but I appreciate you guys keeping me busy and giving me something to look forward to every day. So anyway, here's Nobody's Road, and yeah, here we go. They said she's got a temper to match her red. If you get too close, she'll tell you how she feels. She's a fighter, she won't go quiet. Watch the way her face lights up. She pushes what holds her down, flaps as it hits the ground. Ooh, the sun is always there behind the clouds. Ooh, your strength is shining, it's shining now. She said you should hold your head high, 'cause that's a tough road that you will walk in. And I said the best I do each day is just try. Nobody's road is ever even. My gut got caught up in the mutiny, making shapes in the bathroom times. Learned to sing to keep myself company. Well, I'm a fighter, I won't go quiet. Watch the way my face lights up. I got laughed it out, that's what's coming at me. Ooh, the sun is always there behind the clouds. Ooh, your strength is shining, it's shining now. She said you should hold your head high. That's a tough road that you will walk in. I said the best I do each day is just try. Nobody's road is ever even. And if this moment is all we ever have, go within a waste, waste. And if this moment is all we ever have, go within a waste, make it. She said you should hold your head high, 'cause that's a tough road that you will walk in. I said the best I do each day is just try. And nobody's road is ever even. Nobody's road. Oh, the sun is always there behind the clouds. Tough road you've been. She said you should you know I've been trying. Alright. Oh, we had some comments that were coming in. Thank y'all for listening. We got Kathleen in the house. Thank you for watching, Kathleen. Some of them, Alana, which is great. So yeah, that's good too, that people can see it and hear it and everything too. Just comments verify that, so that's good too. So yeah, we're here today to celebrate Treehouse. My music video for Treehouse just came out on Thursday. It's now Sunday, so it's been really exciting to have that out in the world. It's been, we actually filmed it last summer in July 2019, when it was safe to be in groups and things. And yeah, then it came out this August. It's been a long time coming, but it's really exciting to kind of see it out in the world. So I'm going to play that song now, and then I'll bring in Matt, who's the director of the video, and then we can do a little interview and just talk more about the Treehouse project and what that was like for him, and just learn more about the music video. So I'm really excited. Can everyone hear me okay? If someone's in the comments, just let me know the sound's all good for y'all. Bueller? Alright, well, nobody said they couldn't hear me, so I'll just assume it's all good. Alright, so I'm going to jump into Treehouse right now and play the song that we're celebrating tonight, and then we'll bring it back, and it'll be a fun little music. Yeah, if you look behind me too, I have a typewriter that was featured in the Treehouse music video, and that came from My Cup of Retro that's out in the Netherlands, actually. It's an Etsy shop, and she sells typewriters. Oh, Kathleen said she can hear us. Yay! So that's good. And then back here is custom lyric artwork. I'll hold up for a sec so you can see. My friend Casey Caldwell does kind of custom design, and she made lyric art for Treehouse. That's pretty cool. So, and I'll be posting about this more on my socials in the next few weeks, but it's really cool to be able to kind of partner with local artists like that who make their own things, make their own art too. I want to make sure I don't drop it because I'm very clumsy. All right, well, I'm glad everybody can hear me. I'm going to jump into Treehouse and then we'll bring that on. So thank you all for listening, and thank you for verifying you can hear me okay, Kathleen. It's going really well, I think. So yeah, here's Treehouse. I like this.
Would you meet me in the middle of the woods? We'll walk beneath the sky of leaves till we both feel good. We'll forget the world that we left behind. Alarm clocks and to-do lists and red lights. We run away like we're little kids now, and live as high as we feel off the grid now. And if they could see us, they never reach us. We'll be settling down up in our tree house. Oh, oh, oh. Would you take my hand and follow me up the ladder? Push open the trapdoor, stand on the sturdy boards together. They will carve our names deep into that bar. 'Cause my home is where you are. We run away like we're little kids and live as high as we feel off the grid now. And if they could see us, they never reach us. We'll be settling down up in our tree house. Oh, oh, oh. Up in our tree house. Oh, oh, oh. From the wind to the roof, from the hammer to bone to the soul. From the limb to the root, from the hair to the nail, from the bone to the soul. We look back on this life we built together, built to last till we're gonna go. Hey, yeah, we run away like we're little kids, and live as hard as we feel. Off the grid now, and if they could see us, they'd never reach us. We'll be settling down up in our treehouse. Oh, 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 up in our treehouse. Oh, oh, oh. Now, if this was a live show, I would have you guys try to echo back that. Oh, 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 part. So if y'all are at home and want to sing it, I can pretend you're going to sing it. Oh, 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 and I would sing over it like that. We'll run away up in our treehouse. We'll run away. Oh, oh, oh. So yeah, I love audience participation and back and forth, but this is kind of fun too. I like that with the sorry, my mom just commented. She said she's watching from the easternmost part of the U.S. up in Maine. She's on vacation right now, but appreciate people tuning in from vacation. Someone's watching from Michigan, which is awesome. We have our friend Kathleen. So that's fun. I'm trying to stay on top of the comments this time, because last time I did a live stream, I didn't realize I had to scroll. But now I know. That's how you learn things. Anyway, so I appreciate all your comments and letting me know where you're from. So yeah, let's maybe bring on Matt now, and then we'll go from there. So we got Matt, who is the director of the Treehouse music video. And I even came prepared and have some little interview questions that we can talk about, which I'm excited for. So I'm going to bring in Matt now, and hopefully this will work. We're learning. Hey, Matt.
Hello. Hey.
Oh, yeah. I put headphones in so I can hear what you're saying. Hey, can you hear me okay?
I can. I'm on the wrong side of the camera. I'm supposed to be behind it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess how does that feel, being on the other side of the camera as a director?
Very unnatural.
Right? Excellent. You're out of your comfort zone. I like it.
Yeah, right?
Expanding. Well, yeah, so I guess just tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, kind of how you got into film and directing.
Yeah, so my name is Matt Hoots. I live here in Nashville. I'm originally from Memphis, which is where I grew up. And I mean, I've kind of always been into filming and stuff. When I was a little kid, I would take my action figures and then take my parents' little mini DVD recorder and make little videos with it. So I've always been into it, but I guess around high school is when I started to take it actually seriously. I was in the school like news class, and I would do little skits and stuff. And so that really ingrained it into me. And so after high school, I moved to Nashville, and the rest is history.
Nice. That's all. Yeah, it's really cool to hear about you kind of like doing it as a kid and like stealing your parents' camcorder and making little videos too. That's cool. I used to make little drum sets out of coffee cans before I had my drums. So it's really, kids find their way to it. Cool. And then yeah, for those who kind of don't know watching, like what does a director of a music video do? Kind of what are your roles and responsibilities when you're directing a video?
I mean, I call it just a glorified organizer. You pretty much just I mean you do a little bit of everything. You got to find the cast, and then storyboard it. Decide the scenes and stuff. But the main thing directors do is work with the actors, telling them this is your part, this is what you need to do, and then sort of organizing the scene and sort of bringing just the idea of the video into actually, into fruition.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that sounds like a good summary of it. That was definitely, I think you made that process really easy when working with you and seemed very on top of all the moving parts and pieces that kind of have to juggle as a
And
director.
there are a lot of them.
Yes, exactly. And so yeah, I was going to share, like, I kind of found out about you. I know another artist, Jackie Sullivan, who I think kind of goes back and forth between Nashville and LA now, but she put out a song called Hipster Heartbreak, and she had a music video where the band kind of gets progressively more like hipster-fied as the song goes on. It was very like funny, cute video, and I saw that and I was like, oh, who directed that? Like, maybe that'd be a good fit for Treehouse, and found your name, and here you are. So that's kind of how I found you, but I was curious, like, what made you want to take on the Treehouse kind of video project?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously you reached out to me and we got together and I listened to sort of the first draft of the song and I loved it. And then we started, sort of coming up with possible video ideas. And I really liked how that was going. So I decided, hey, let's do this. And, obviously it worked out because the music video is great and I'm super proud of it.
Yeah, me too. That's awesome. We found each other. Yeah. And then, yeah, can you talk about the process of like kind of coming up with the story for the video? I know I kind of had ideas, but you definitely expanded on them together. We kind of fleshed it out. But I guess what was that process of the story for you?
Yeah, I mean, if you can remember, we went through a bunch of different ideas. Our original idea was having a one-take video that was sort of based around this other treehouse that we ended up not getting, which kind of caused us to kind of scrap that idea. But, that was kind of centered around, this 3-pronged tree house that had, different sections, and we would kind of go around, and each section would be a different, span of your life, kind of how it is, how it was, in the actual video. But then we ended up, finding this other tree house, which is awesome. And then that's when we sort of came up with the idea of, coming back to the same tree house throughout this couple's life. And so, yeah. That was, and it was cool kind of like fleshing out like all the different ideas of the stuff the couples could kind of do throughout the years. Mm-hmm.
And I remember once, so like we met like a lot in like coffee shops just to kind of hash this out. But there was some lady like at the table next to us, and she's like, "Oh, you guys should do like a pillow fight." She was like throwing out ideas too.
The pillow fight, yeah.
Yeah, which we didn't end up using, but it was just funny to get like input from random people kind of listening to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was cool. And like I think initially, like I was just thinking it would be like the kids and us, and then I think you took it further. Like, what if we had kind of an older couple that showed them the future? And so that was really cool to kind of have that collaboration and expanding on it. And like one of my favorite shots that we have in the video is kind of like going around the tree with the dancing, and kind of every time it passes around the tree, the couples change. And I think that started with that 3-pronged tree house because there was kind of like a tree, so we thought we'd kind of like around it. Right. And like, we could pan around the tree, then the couples would change. And I like how that still stayed, and we still got that shot in the final project. It was just cool to kind of think about the evolution of that idea.
Yeah.
I guess speaking of that, like, do you have a favorite like scene or shot in the video?
Yeah, well, I mean, I like it all, but I think if I had to pick one or two, I definitely like the introduction of the older couple. I think that's I really like it, emotionally how that is. But I think in terms of editing, I really liked the transition with the tree going from the older couple into the younger kids. I think that one, I remember when I first pulled that off, not that it's like a super amazing feat or anything, but when I first saw it in the editing room, I was like, oh yeah. I love it.
I love it. Yeah. So like you sent me kind of like kind of first edited version, which is pretty similar to how it ended up. I think we only get like 1 or 2 small changes, but when I saw that, I got like goosebumps for the first time. I was like, "Oh, you pulled it off!" Yes, so that was really cool to see it pretty much in its final form. And I guess for editing too, because that was something I didn't really witness. We kind of just filmed it, and then you magically took it, and then it just came back to me in this final kind of glorious form. I guess the question I have is just like, what is that editing process like, or are there certain things you kind of have in mind as you're selecting like which shots to put where and all that?
Yeah, I mean, editing is kind of where it all comes together. So, before you get into the editing room, it's just this whole mismatch of random shots and stuff. So I really love, sitting down and doing it. And it can be tedious, but it's definitely fulfilling because you're actually seeing this idea come together. And you can really get your creative juices flowing as you're going through the timeline, getting it cut up and all that. But yeah, I mean, in terms of things you want to keep in mind, the tone of the video, obviously the progression of the story, making sure that's cohesive and stuff like that. But it's great. I love it.
Yeah. That's a good point too. Like especially for that video, because it's more of just like a montage of this couple. There's not a specific storyline you kind of have to follow, so it's kind of like anything can go anywhere. So it was cool to see like the choices you made in one shots. I also really like the part with the tin can phones and how it kind of starts with the younger kids and you pan back down the phone and they get older. Like, I guess I just like the change in the time. But yeah, so that was cool to see. And I guess speaking of kind of the tin can phones and some of those props and stuff, like, did you have a favorite kind of prop that we put in the video? What did you like a lot? Or?
I really like the Polaroids. Obviously we use those as sort of a story beat, sort of showing, them looking back, nostalgic and all that. But yeah, I think the Polaroids was really a nice way to sort of cement a certain point in time and have it transition into a different point in time, and sort of bring those two together. And I remember for anyone, hopefully everyone's seen the video, but for anyone who has seen it, the shot where it's just a close up of the taking a picture, the cameraman eyes was behind it, and so that photo, I don't know if you still have it, but I hope you do.
I think it's somewhere. Yeah.
It's the creepiest photo because you see these two kids in front of it and they're well lit, and then you just see these eyes in the darkness,
like moving guy in the background
with a camera. That was great.
That was pretty good. Yeah, I think it's somewhere. I think it might be in like one of the pockets of like my keyboard case.
I'd love to see that picture again.
Yeah, I like all that. Yeah, that was cool to kind of have the Polaroids kind of go back, kind of help with the back and forth in time. And I think we did that with like the bracelet too, and I guess like all the props we kind of showed them.
Yeah, the clothing, the dress, the yellow dress.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I guess like in this video too, there were actors in it, which I've never done before, so that was a very new thing for me in terms of, not that for me was as much acting, it was more dance with this person you know really well and like snuggle and read and kind of things I already know how to do. But I guess just for like working with actors, like is there anything? Well, I guess for this video too, the actors specifically were trying to kind of look similar to me and Andrew to show that it was kind of going back and forth in time. And you did a really good job of finding all those actors and kind of showing headshots, and we were able to kind of pick like our top, two people, and we ended up with Laura and Brayden, who were great, looked similar. But I guess like, what was your process for finding the actors, and also like, have you ever worked with kids before in a video? Because that was new for me too.
Yeah, I've worked with child actors before, but this is the first time being the head director working with them. So that was a cool experience to kind of guide them into the part. But in terms of casting, obviously the main focus was getting, two younger people and two older people that could portray you and Andrew as the subsequent roles. And so, we would get the headshots from the people. And I think we really lucked out because I think the people we got look just like you. It's crazy. But yeah, that was a good experience too, doing the whole casting and finding people, and they were all great. Yeah.
And actually, like, I remember for the actor who played young Andrew, like, it was supposed to be, I think, like a different boy who was kind of similar looking, but he had like broken his leg or something, like right before this.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
But then, like, him and Brayden were friends, and so Brayden was able to kind of step in at the last minute. And actually, Andrew said, like, well, Brayden kind of looks more like me as a kid than the original actor happened to anyways. And, like, it was just funny how all those little things kind of fell into place really well. And that was interesting for me, too, is it's like I work as a speech pathologist during the day, so, like, I work with kids, but... And I've been in like middle school and high school settings with those older kids, but I've never like worked with them in more creative capacity. Not that I was really directing them; you were kind of the one who was interacting. Just kind of observing kids kind of in that different space, I guess, when you're not necessarily teaching, but you're creating something together was a really cool experience, I think. And I think like too, like you did a really good job kind of directing them and telling them like kind of how to act or feel or kind of move in a certain scene, like the scene where like Brayden was going the bracelet, you would say, pretend it's like a new iPhone or something. Like, how would you react to, like that? But you were just getting very specific direction and things like that. I think that really paid off too. So that was really fun for me to just observe and kind of be on the scene. Cool. But yeah, no, definitely the actors all worked out really well for sure. That was great. I guess, like, do you have like a favorite memory from the set or filming?
I mean, the whole thing was awesome. I mean, it was a great experience. It was definitely hot, that's for sure.
Yeah,
and over in Chattanooga, yeah. But no, I mean, I can't really say I have a favorite memory, but it was just because it was a 2-day shoot, and so just obviously the shoot itself was awesome, but then just spending time with each other, throughout, and just hanging out, messing around was also super fun. And then we shoot off fireworks afterwards or something.
I think, yeah, I remember that was going on down below. Exactly. Yeah, we definitely, and the guy kind of runs, so like Treetop Hideaway is this man just owns the property. He just built tree houses on it, and now he like rents them out as Airbnbs. So if anyone wants to stay in the actual tree house, you can do that. It's on Airbnb. You can find him, and he was that whole company too. Just giving them a shout out to their kind of organization, and they were very helpful and kind of responsive. And I talked to, I think her name was Joy, who was kind of his assistant, but I probably spoke with her like 20 times over the course of like the few months in terms of organizing everything. And I think the first weekend we planned it rained, so we came back a month later, and they also have like a kind of like downstairs cabin area that they also rented out, but they let us have that too for the day so that people could hang out and not be in the sun and everything. So they were just super accommodating and friendly. So definitely can't recommend Treetop Hideaways enough if you're looking for a tree house to crash in. So just throwing that out there. And then, so we talked about that. Just reading through all my questions, making sure we're covering a lot of things. I think it's going really well. I guess, so as a musician, I always get the question of like, who are your musical influences and all that. So I wonder if there's kind of a similar process for you. Like, do you have influences as a director or filmmaker, either movies or specific directors or music videos that have kind of inspired you in terms of the work you create?
Definitely. I mean, I'm sure that there's some subconscious ones as well as conscious ones, but in terms of ones I can actually think about, Stanley Kubrick will probably always be my most influential filmmaker, but I also love Tarantino and more recently Chris Nolan. His stuff is amazing. But yeah, I mean, there's a ton of different stuff that kind of comes into my brain and it comes out in different forms. So I don't know, I couldn't pick them all out specifically, but they're in there.
Yeah, that's interesting. All those kind of come together and then create something that's maybe so like Tarantino is not what I think of when I think of the Treehouse Happy videos. It's kind of
yeah, not quite.
Although
maybe next time.
Didn't Caleb find that haunted like stone structure? So the treehouse area is like on this big plot of land, and there's trails. And Caleb like went for a walk, and he said there's like this old creepy like stone like cave,
like moss covered stone, weird cavern thing.
Yeah, and he was saying, like if you guys want to like take it in like a different direction, we could go over there. They're just like all the random things that were on the property too were funny, but. And I guess maybe talking a little bit about Caleb and Ives and their work, because they were part of the crew too. I know Ives had that giant camera he had to wear all day that was wicked heavy, so I had a lot of respect for him too. But I guess just how you met the crew and kind of their responsibilities and what they did in the video process.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually a pretty small crew. It was just the three of us. So it was me as the director. Ives Salbert was the director of photography / the cameraman. So he was operating the Steadicam, which is the big harness thing that he was wearing. And then he, had the camera with him. And then Caleb Dixon was the PA, who's just as important. Definitely we couldn't have been done without him. But Ives I met working at Costco, and then we ended up being roommates. So that was pretty cool. And Caleb actually, sort of like Braden, wasn't originally. I originally had to have someone else, but he couldn't do it, so he recommended me to Caleb, and of course Caleb said yes. So it kind of just worked out that way.
Yeah, it's funny that it kind of all came together. Even Caleb, I think, was the one who like ordered lunch and got all the pizzas and stuff. Just all these kind of behind the scene things, or moving lights, or turning on like a smoke machine. I think we had at one point too for like the couple coming in. So it was interesting because I've never really been on a set before professionally, so it was cool to just see all the behind the scenes things, and I was just trying to stay out of the way and observe it all when I was in the shots the second day. But it was really cool to just observe for the day. Cool. And then, did you ever have a treehouse as a kid growing up? What is your experience with treehouses? Which I'm asked ahead of time.
No, I never had a treehouse. My biggest experience with treehouses is the Drake and Josh episode when they get locked in one.
Oh, no. Yeah, I have like a Berenstain Bear book. Back in the day, that was my favorite. It's like no girls allowed, but so the sister's mad that the brother doesn't want to play with her, and then she like forms this girl club, and they build a treehouse. But looking back at the kind of picture of that, there is like a spyglass and like a tin can phone, and like a roll-up ladder. I was like, oh, maybe all that was kind of subconsciously in there when I was throwing out plots and stuff. It was just funny to see our influences and all that. But yeah, and then I guess thinking of music videos, if you have like a favorite music video in general that you like a lot?
That's a good question. I mean, there's a ton that I like. Well, I guess one that sticks out, funnily enough, is "Take on Me" by Aha. Like it came out in the '80s. It has, if anyone's seen it, it was actually pretty influential for its time, because it has, if you've seen it, it has all the drawing, like the mixed media aspects of it. But that's a really cool one. But I mean, there's so many; it's hard to name a certain one.
Sure. Yeah, and definitely just like all the influences over time. But no, that's a great one, the Aha one with all the animation. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, great song too.
Great song.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so and with your kind of film and photography, you have a production company as well called Who Gives a Hoots Film, which I enjoy the wordplay on that because your last name is Hoots. Someone with the last name Mustard, I enjoy wordplay as well. But,
there you go.
But yeah, so I just want to give you a chance to kind of shout out your company and just like, what kind of projects do you work on, and also where can people find you online if they do.
Yeah, I mean, so it's just myself, my self little production company. I do all over the place. Obviously, I do music videos, I do weddings. I do corporate stuff. I'm really all over the place, honestly. But yeah, you can go to my website, whogivesahoots.com. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff.
Nice. Yeah, we have some comments. My mom says that she loves Take on Me, which is great. Someone put a YouTube link, which may be Take on Me. I'm not sure. I won't open it now, just because I'm afraid of the delicate setup I have, but eventually we'd like to see what that is. Kaya says that the kind of going around the tree shot with them changing was like her favorite shot too of the video. It was awesome. My mom loves the Polaroids. Takes her back in time, so that's good. My friend Alicia says great video. So that's all the comments that have come in, but I'm glad that everyone's on board with Polaroids and Take on Me. Excellent to get the consensus. And then, I want to point out too that you did also the photography for the Treehouse kind of EP project. So all the kind of single art that I've had so far for Nobody's Road, Eager, and Treehouse. There might be another single coming soon too. But you've done all the shots for those, and we actually went out I think in May before we filmed the video just to kind of see the space and get to know it, and then that was the day that we did the photo shoot too. So yeah, I guess it's like, how long have you been doing photography, and do you have any influences as a photographer? Maybe how is that different or similar to kind of film? How does that feel?
I mean, I think they go together hand in hand a lot. I mean, they're obviously very different things and different things that you have to do, but in terms of my influences, I think the same sort of directors probably influence, because I mean, cinematography, it's about positioning and stuff like that. I mean, I've never really considered myself a photographer. I've still always considered myself a videographer, but it kind of goes together. So, throughout my life, I've always kind of done it as sort of a side hustle, but it's more of a hobby than a career, if that makes sense.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's probably honestly the same influences that influence my film that do my photography.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool. They kind of go hand in hand a little bit, and one kind of complements the other. And that's interesting to kind of think of yourself as one versus the other. They're all kind of related. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I guess, was there anything else you wanted to talk about around Treehouse? Those were all my thoughtfully prepared questions.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to say, thank you for bringing me onto the project. I'm super happy with how it turned out, and I'm hoping that it gets around and we can get some eyes on it and kind of show what we created. Because I mean, I'm sure you are, as am I, super proud of it. And I'd love for everyone to give it a watch, give it a like, and sort of just pass it on to your friends.
That's a great idea. Yes, I like that idea. Yes, share it and post it on your wall, get people to watch it. That'd be great too. But yeah, that's really cool to see the final project. I appreciate your patience with it too.
Oh yeah, no problem. It's crazy to think that it was a year ago. Yeah. Like, where the heck? Can we go back?
Exactly. Yes, last summer was much more fun.
A little less hectic, right?
That's how things change, but also just the timing of it. I'm glad we did it then instead of trying to do it this summer and probably not being able to, or doing it very differently. So that's interesting too, with all the changes, especially in the music industry. Like, my plan for this was originally to be a live show, but had we done that, we probably wouldn't do like a interview like this. So it's kind of cool how, I guess, just out of necessity, you're kind of forced to think different ways in terms of promotion and creativity. And so what would have probably been just a live show at a venue turned into this really cool interview that we probably wouldn't have had. So that's my positive spin on all the chaos in the world. Yeah. But that's kind of cool too. Does anyone else who's watching have any questions in the comments? If anyone wants to ask anything to, I think there's I don't know if there's a delay or not, because when I asked first about if people could hear me, like a minute later, some of these didn't they could. So and see if anyone has any questions, and then I'll let you go. But I appreciate you making time today too to kind of join us for this. And
of course, thanks for having me.
Yeah, good times. And we may have, again, there may be another video eventually coming for the last. Well, maybe I'm saying too much, but there may be another single down the line, and there may be a full EP release. Just so y'all know, you've heard about half of the songs I have prepared for you guys. So it'll be a fun summer. And I appreciate you guys making this summer, just giving me something to do in the middle of everything. It's nice to kind of have this kind of project on the side in terms of promotion and sharing all these songs and videos with you guys. And also just the reception around Treehouse has been really nice. I think it has like 600 views or something on YouTube already, and it's only been a few days, so that's kind of cool to see the reaction, the positivity. Oh, I want to let you know too, like 3 different people texted me and they said they like teared up while watching Treehouse, which wasn't.
Oh, I love that. That's what I want. That's the goal. That's the goal.
Making you feel things, pull on the heartstrings. Yeah, even just that feedback too, or hearing that it impacted people in a more emotional way is nice too. But, yeah,
that's awesome.
I think originally too, like one of the older couples we were looking at, like someone couldn't make it, so, and they were thinking of like, what if we just had one person come back later, so it was just one older person?
Oh, yeah, that'd be real sad. Yeah,
I have a very different vibe, so I'm glad you found Jareen and Chris, because that worked out much better. But it's funny to think of all the different edits and forms they kind of went through. But cool. Well, no one's asking any questions, I guess, so I guess we've answered all of their thoughts around this. But so yeah, I guess I'll let you go. Thank you for being a part of this and joining on it. Play like another song or two. And if anyone has any comments or questions they want to throw in the comments, I'm happy to answer them too.
Awesome. But, thanks again. Yeah, thank you.
Everybody check out his Who Gives a Hoots production company too. And also watch Treehouse again.
Yes, watch it 10 times.
Exactly. I think that's why Taylor Swift puts Easter eggs in her videos, so people.
There you go. You got to have something to find.
Do that next
maybe there's some Easter eggs in this one.
You never know. See the typewriter in there? Did you find the typewriter? Find outside? What book were we reading? Do you know?
Trivia.
And that's true. That is central to the plot in terms of the childlike theme. Anyway, maybe that'll make you watch it again. I'm great at promotion. Anyway. All right, well, thank you, Matt. I appreciate you hanging out with us.
No problem. Have a good one.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Awesome. All right, well, that was Matt Hoots, and I really appreciate him answering all your questions. That was really fun. Went in a lot of fun directions, which I like. But yeah, we have a little more time, maybe like 15 minutes or so I might play a few more songs. If anyone has anything they want to hear, any questions, I'm going to take a sip of tea. And then actually I can probably take these out since I don't need to hear Matt now. Yeah, it's going really well. I appreciate you all hanging out with me on a Sunday night. Hopefully this is getting your week off on the right start. You know, Sunday fun day. Going really well. All right, but yeah, that was really cool to kind of do a interview. I've never done that before, so that was really cool to kind of give an interview for the first time. And I love Matt's answers that he would have thought about them. Yeah, that's really fun. So. It's going really well, guys. But yeah, I'll play maybe the last single that was out was called Eager. And I really appreciate all the positivity around that song, too. It's a very happy song, but there was a lot of good positivity around it. So I'm reading all the comments as they come. My mom said it made her misty-eyed, which was one of the visceral kind of one of those reactions I heard about. So it was interesting to kind of hear that people had more of a emotional reaction, which is pulling at your heartstrings in the Treehouse. But it's the idea of a couple coming back and forth in this place and having a place they can escape to. I like that it's 4 minutes of escapism that seems appropriate for these times. Sometimes it's good to just, go somewhere else for a minute. Anyway, this song is called Eager. And it's my last single. And this is a song about just laughing at yourself. So you can tell I have some more positive feelings. I just got entangled, but I'm already looking around to see what other trouble I can get into. Maybe I should keep my hands to myself for a while. My clothes are covered in grass stains from playing outside. Whoever had a good time from being careful. I've been thinking you and me can make some mischief. 'Cause I made a fool of myself more times than I can count. It's a shame to say I never tried, so I celebrate the nights and cry. Go ahead and call me eager. I just like to know you better. It's a shame to say I never tried, and you give me the time to get it right. Well, I guess I'm a romantic, so get used to my antics, because I'm known for leaving behind notes and sharing songs. Maybe if you're lucky, you see me without my hat on. Oh, hey. And I'm ready running laps in my one-track mind, but lately I've been getting better, going one day at a time. Come on, sit beside me, I love to get lost in the thoughts. 'Cause I made a fool of myself more times than I can count. It's a shame to say I never tried, so I celebrate the nights and cry. Go ahead, call me eager. I just like to know you better. It's a shame to say you never tried, but you give me the time to get it right. The worst nights make the best stories. My friends say I can write a book. It could be my next chapter, be my happily ever after. Either way, I love to turn the pages with you. 'Cause I made a fool of myself more times than I can count. Y'all want you to clap at home.
It's a shame to say you never tried, so I celebrate the nights and cry. Go ahead, call me either. I just like to know you're better. It's a shame to say you never tried, but you could be determined to get it right. I'm gonna get it, get it, get it, get it, get it right. I'm singing, hey love, my boyfriend's back now. I'm singing, hey love, I just got a tangle, but I'm already looking around to see what other trouble I could get into. Yeah, so that's a fun one. Oh, I started introducing some clapping emojis, which is maybe is clapping during the bridge. I like how I keep trying to do audience participation, even though you're not in the room, but I can feel you on the other side of the screen doing fun things. And that's good. It's going really well, I think. Yeah, just making sure I'm keeping up with all the comments. But if y'all have any questions you want to throw out, or if you want to share your favorite part of the Treehouse music video, that's great. A little bit about Treehouse too, just the writing process. I think I started that in like the fall of 2018. It's a while ago now, almost 2 years ago, with Laura Herman, who is another national songwriter. I met her at the National Songwriter Association down on Music Row. And yeah, we just started writing together. I think first we tried to write a song about like a teapot or something that day, but I was taking it way too literally. She's like, I don't think this song's working. And I was like, well, what about a song about a treehouse? Because I had that on my list of titles. She was on board, and we wrote like a first draft of it, but we kept trying to make it, more positive, I guess, or just better. Especially because like as soon as we finished the song, I was like, like we could do a cool music video in a treehouse, and there could be like a photo shoot. Just like so many visual elements you could do with the treehouse. So I really wanted it to be as good as it could be. So we revised it probably over 7 months. It took a long time for it to get it into its final form. If you want to just hear the song too, you can hear it on Spotify or iTunes or Apple Music or just wherever you stream music. You can listen to that, or you can watch the video too and hear the song too. But that was a really cool process too, because this Treehouse is the first song I've ever released that I co-wrote with somebody, and it's also probably the song that I revised the most. So it's really cool to see that song in particular that has a lot of firsts for me kind of make its way into the world, and also now have this really cool music video around it. My mom says she remembers when I got stuck in the treehouse in our yard. Yeah, we had a little treehouse in our backyard. It was more like a platform that was put on a tree, and there was a nice little kind of railing so we couldn't fall off that our dad built. But it wasn't the treehouse I got stuck in. We had this giant tree, and we had a ladder that we would like climb up to get to the tree. And so I climbed up into the high tree, and the ladder fell down. And so yes, then I was trapped in the tree. And I think like a neighbor saw me, and instead of coming over and helping me, she walked back and alerted my mom, and she came out and helped me down. So that was my childhood moment of getting stuck in a tree. But I still liked it. I was calling for help for a while too. Nobody came out. But you rescued me eventually. But yeah, we did have a pretty cool treehouse in our backyard too. It was a small one, but it was pretty cool. And yeah, my Fantasy Bear book and things like the Swiss Family Robinson just made me always want a really cool treehouse. I got a friend too. Her name was Carly as a kid, who had this like epic, like professionally like carpenter who made treehouse that I was jealous of too. So yes, I would still live in a treehouse. Probably one of the most fun parts about shooting the Treehouse music video too is that since it was a 2-day shoot, we got to stay in the treehouse overnight, so that was cool, like sleeping in the treehouse. Yeah, Emily might have. Sorry, I'm reading the comments as I'm talking, but it was really cool staying in the treehouse, during the shoot. And my mom says that she thinks my sister Emily took the ladder down, which might have been true. I might have climbed up in that tree, and then my older sister may have grabbed the ladder right away, or it could have fallen down. I'm not sure, but it sounds like something she would do back in the day. And of course, she did not help me. So good times, happy childhood memories of getting stuck in a tree. And yet I still love
tree houses, and it was really cool to like stay in that tree house and sleep there overnight. Treetop hideaways. Next time I take a vacation, I wouldn't mind going back there actually and just enjoying it. And they have a really cool stage like in front of the tree house, so you can. That's cool. Yeah, I think it's online. I'm making sure I'm saying it, Aliona. So that she's really jealous that I got to spend a night in the treehouse. It was really cool, and you can definitely. And if you ever want to go to Chattanooga in that area, you can do it too, because it's on Airbnb, so you could rent it for the night if you wanted to experience the magic of a treehouse. And there's another treehouse too. The treehouse we stayed in was called Luna Loft, and the other one, I don't remember the name of the other one because I didn't rent it, but that one's a little bit more modern and a little bigger. But we wanted the one that looked a little more rustic for the video. So you can check out the Luna Loft Treehouse at Treetop Hideaways if you want to stay in a treehouse. There are other ones too we reached out to, but just in terms of budget and driving and availability, Treetop Hideaways was the best one for us. So yeah, it went really well. I love tree houses. I would live in one if I could. So this video is my vicarious way of running away to live in a treehouse. I do hope to go back one day. Oh yeah, but I was saying how they have a stage in front of it too, and I guess they do shows at the Treetop Hideaways, like at that treehouse, so like do concerts and stuff. And so whenever again it's safe to play in the wild again, I'd love to go down there and play that treehouse, play the treehouse on in front of the treehouse where we play the video. That'd be pretty cool. So I have dreams, more treehouse dreams down the line, or doing a little treehouse tour one day when it's safe to travel. But for now, I'm really happy to be doing stuff like this. And again, the kind of creativity it brings, being able to do like an interview remotely with somebody, and also just being able to, broadcast a show to someone. I think Aliana said that she was from Michigan. Just seeing people watching from different places. My mom's is in the most eastern point of the United States right now, which is exciting. So she would be able to watch it now if this summer worked very different. So there's always a silver lining, but positivity on a Sunday night. All right, well, that's all my 2 cents. I guess I'll play maybe one more song, and then we'll call it a day. But yeah, this has been a really fun hangout, and I love talking about tree houses. One of my initial ideas too was like, could we like build a tree house and like just kind of film us building up and like speed it up? But then I was like, I don't know how to build a tree house, and that sounds like a lot of work. And I also like that we kind of got to tell a story with the treehouse video. But there were lots of ideas circling around the idea of a treehouse. So I'm glad that it ended up that I got to spend a night in the treehouse. Yeah. The treehouse does have Wi-Fi too if you need that. We watched some CSI, I think. Andrew and I, after we finished filming, we were hanging out. But they also do have like books in there, and they have a really cool, well, you saw it in the video, but there's a really cool balcony in the back. So I was sitting there like journaling and eating breakfast there up in the trees. It was a very nice day. Anyway, but make sure your treehouse has Wi-Fi this day and age. All right, well, I'll play one more. This is a more positive song. All my songs have been positive today, but I like some positivity. This is called Good Enough. It makes me feel good about life. So, yeah.
Everybody likes my life online. I use filters so my pictures are shining. That one-sided design leaves behind the way I clutch my belt in my chest and the emptiness at night. And I love the longing 'cause I believe I never belong. I got ambitious whispers slithering in my head. Not good enough, not good enough. Ease back and practice the kindness my mind has never known. I got that trust whisper tripped up, guard down, saying out, you are good enough. You are good enough. I grew up resenting my reflection. I found shame in every scar, stitched in. Self-concept is a work in progress. I can redefine it from myself that I've let get the best of me so far. Well, I love the longing, cause I believe I never belong. I got that vicious whisper slithering in my head. You're not good enough, you're not good enough. Ease back and practice the kindness my mind has never known. I got that trusty whisper tripped up, guard down, saying out, you are good enough. You are good enough. And for years I thought it was mind versus body. But in a slick twist, they were ganging up on me. So now we're gonna sit down on the same ground, change the way we go around. Being gentle never felt so arduous. I got that trusty whisper tripped up, guard down, singing out, you are good enough. You are good enough. Oh, you are good enough. Hey, you are good enough. You are good enough. Okay. So yes, if you need a little boost of self-confidence, just you're good enough and you can handle all the challenges this week may have in store for you on this Sunday evening, getting you into a positive mindset for the new week, I guess. And if you need an escape, you could always watch the Treehouse video. Maybe that'll make you feel better in the middle of life. So anyway, that's my positivity for your Sunday night. So I'll leave one more minute if you have any other questions or anything, but I appreciate y'all hanging out and all your comments. Thank you, Eliana. I'm glad for your support. Lots of hearts and claps in the comments. Appreciate that. That's a very positive, happy song that makes me feel better about myself. And it's something I try to say back to the little doubts that pop up in my head sometimes. That we're all good enough. We're all just doing the best we can. Little secret is no one really knows what they're doing. We're all just making it up as we go. So, do the best you can. And you're good enough. All right, well, I guess if there's no other questions or thoughts, I would say thank you for hanging out. Thank you for talking Treehouses with me. Thank you for your support around Matt, letting him join us tonight. That was really cool to hear his thoughts on the Treehouse video. It was cool to hear how he kind of got into filmmaking and, like that story of him stealing his parents' camcorder to make little films and stuff as a kid. That makes me happy. So just to see that childlike wonder. But yeah. Thank y'all for hanging out, and I'll see you next time, I guess. I might do another little party like this mid-September, so I'll keep you posted on that. And, thank you guys. Have a good night, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Go watch Treehouse also. Watch it again if you've seen it, because it'll make you happy. Just had to say that. All right, bye, guys.